All right. I have 10 red flags that you just cannot ignore. You just can't ignore these. These are important. Why are these important? Because you need to see them earlier than later. Sometimes we get so far into the goddamn relationship or situationship or a little thingamajigger that we kind of don't look for these things. And they've been hitting us the first month, second month, third month. This is specifically for you ladies. I'm going to do one for men as well, but this one specifically, ladies, these 10 things you should be looking out for early stage when you're getting to know a guy. Hear me out. Trust me when I tell you this. Number one thing. These are not in a specific order, but I'm going to put them here. Number one, he texts you too much. Hear me when I tell you this. He texts you too much. He's an over-texter. He's an oversharer. He should be busy, dude. He shouldn't be texting you all like this. And if he's treating you or implying or acting pen palish and he's not asking you on the date and he's spending more time trying to text you and and get to know you in that way, it's doing too much. He needs to learn that. If he's texting you too much, he's either number one, he's just not busy enough. I'm just going to be honest with you. And number two, he's making it feel like he's getting to know you before he actually gets to know you in person. A lot of young guys do this. Well, a lot of guys in general can do this if they're really on the fence about taking you out, or they really don't know. They're like, if they really want to take you out, they want to spend their time and money on you, or if they're just trying to get to know you so they can invite you over. Now, pen pal's not good. Pen pal's not good for a variety of reasons. It's a time waster. It's an emotional sucker, and it's a time waster. And you don't really want to waste your time with that. So if he's texting you too much and there's no date or there's no asking out and he doesn't want to see you, you know the deal with this one. That means you might have to take the L out of lover with this. All you have to say to him at that point is basically this. Hey, listen, I get the sense we want different things. I'm actually looking to meet up with the people that I'm entering these phases and getting to know each other for a relationship. I'm actually looking to meet up with those people. Doesn't seem like you're on that path, but best of luck to you. That's how you do that. And that's how you solve that little pen pal problem that you have, because that can be a problem. Number two. This is an important one, ladies. And once you get to know him, you're going to start to understand how men think, and you're also going to understand why he made the moves he made. And it's easy to see when he's at the finish line, but when he's not at the finish line, what I mean by finish line is he's where most people would consider making it or made it or some extent. Another big red flag is that he hasn't taken risks in his life. If you're dealing with a guy who's been given everything and been on a steady path, what are we doing? He needs to be taking risks because he needs to figure out who he is. If he hasn't figured out what he's made of, see, what risks do for a guy is they put him in a position to figure out, what am I really made of? What are my limits? How imaginative can I get? How do I need to take my energy and put it to something I really care about? He needs to be taking L's. He needs to have taken some L's. This is called failing. Men need to fail in order to understand where they live. See, when a guy's 21, 22, he thinks he has the world as his oyster. He can do whatever he wants. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to become a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. All this talk. It's all talk. Until the world hits you. And in order to world to hit you, you need to take some necessary risks with your life, in your professional life and in your personal life. Risks need to be a part of the play. If he hasn't taken any of these risks in his life, dare I say he might be playing a little too safe. And that character, or a lack of character development, shall I add for you, will come out over time. You're going to start to see him getting irritated for the little things. He hasn't built up to the ability to withstand all these things that are going to be tossed at him. And when you take risks and you're used to facing fire with your life, now risks are subjective in some capacity, but for his own sake, risks. Then you get to learn how to compose yourself and deal with things as they come, because they're all not that big of a deal. That's going to show up, and trust me when I tell you this, ladies, trust me. Number three, he's a hothead. Now, when you're dealing with a guy who's a hothead, you have a whole load of clothes in your hand, a big problem. He's unpredictable. He'd been in this really nice guy, then all of a sudden the waiter bumps into him. What the fuck, man? What are you doing? You have a guy that can't control his emotions. You have a guy that cannot control himself, his actions, how he responds to a situation. That's called lack of composure. That's called lack of control. And by the way, I've been around plenty of hotheads in my life. I know. I've seen it. They don't have the composure or the control to be able to lead themselves, nevertheless you. So when you see people that are hotheads, understand that's unpredictability. And that level of unpredictability can be very dangerous for you. Not only within you or yourself, he's unpredictable, what he can do with you, whatever the switch is that's going to get his head hot, but in everything else, it's going to put you at risk too. And you're going to start to notice guys that are hotheads, the unpredictability of it, while it may be spicy at first in your mind, it's going to be later become a problem. And it's going to be too much uncertainty. And you're never going to be able to have a guy that can steady state and regulate himself. And that's not good for you. That is not good for you. Believe me when I tell you that. Number 4. When you're dealing with a guy that does not know how to make you feel comfortable, that does not know how to vibe set for you. Now, what do I mean by vibe set? Vibe set is making you feel comfortable, making you feel heard, making you feel understood, making you feel like you can be a little bit more of yourself in his presence. Now, let me also tell you something. That's a skill. But it is a flag if he's not used to dealing with women. Because guys that are not used to dealing with women can't vibe set effectively. They don't know how to vibe set. All they've done is focus on their career, making money. Okay, so what? I've met a lot of rich losers too, by the way. It's okay he can make money. It's okay. So what? Can he make you feel comfortable? Because everybody has to balance their plates. It's not enough to make money. That'll just get you played and displayed as a guy. Okay, fine. You make money and people are going to use you for your money now. Great, fantastic. You need to learn how to understand the opposite. You need to learn how to understand your customer on both sides. But specifically, I'm talking about the men here. And if he hasn't learned these skills of inquiring, asking, making you feel heard, try and make you feel understood, and is just completely socially unaware, he's socially numb of how to do this, you might be having more of a red flag than not. Now, there's a difference between being awkward and socially distant from what needs to happen here. I'm not saying he's doing it for the reason to get you in bed. That's not what I said. But what I am saying is that he needs to learn how to do that, because that means that shows you that he knows how to deal with women. Because dealing with men and women are different, ladies. Trust me when I tell you that. I think you know that. Number 5. This is a big one. He's indecisive about you after 4 months. Even if I took one date a week, that's 16 times hanging out with you. Even if I did that conservatively, one date a week, that's 16 times of hanging out with you. After 16 times, if he's uncertain about you after 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, doesn't know how you fit into his life or vice versa, that's a flag. That's a flag. I'm only saying this assuming you're not in some long-distance relationship or some long-distance situation. I'm assuming you see each other consistently enough. Because it's not about necessarily the months. It's about how many times you guys have been around each other. And if he's uncertain about you in that frame, in that time frame, I think it's worth you noting that he may never be ready for you. Sure, some men need more time. Life phases matter. Somebody in his 60s or 50s or even high 40s or 40s with children that have different lifestyles, I can see this being a different example. But for those that don't have that, this one is for you, ladies. Then, yeah, he needs to be knowing how to make better decisions along the way. And you need to see that and adjust to that. Number 6. If he goes to the club, if he's a night owl, if he likes to go out to the strip clubs or the club, or he's out partying, he's looking for tatas. He's looking for a good night out. There's no other way to put it. He ain't looking to go out and hear beats. If he's an avid club goer, I'm talking about nightlifer. And by the way, this even goes for those that work in nightlife. And I ain't going to lie to you. And I'm talking about these red flags are for those who are looking for a committed relationship. A fair fade. You get the point. But if this dude is a nightlifer, you're working against the grain here. That's a problem. That's a flag. The fact that he would want to, as a grown-ass adult, keep going out to clubs so he can figure out which next thing he's going to pound down at Chinatown. At some point, you got to say, listen, dude, you got to be busier than this. What are we doing? Is this really all life's about? And sometimes guys need to get to that phase. Sometimes they're not just, oh, it's so obvious. Sometimes it isn't because you don't understand. And it isn't until he gets the power and understands that once I have the power, aka the resources and the attractiveness to women, because for men it takes time, ladies. Once he realizes that what he can do with it, until he starts getting to the next layer, the next level, this always comes after 30, then he can say, ugh. Once he can look back at that lifestyle and say, ugh, I ain't got time for that, man. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm trying to meet people. I'm trying to have a good time in my life. I don't need to go out like that. That's working against the grain, ladies. Number 7. He's indecisive. Indecisiveness can come in all shapes and forms, ladies. And this goes for asking you out on a date. Doesn't know if he wants to ask you out on a date. This goes to the fact of where he's going to take you. This goes to the fact of what we're going to do. If he wants to see you, I don't know. Yeah, you don't know. I know he don't know. That's the point. That's a problem. Because either way, right? Let's just say you're dealing with a different kind of dude. Either way, he should be able to say, nah, I'm good. I don't want to ask you out. Or just not respond to you at all. But if he's indecisive on taking you out or where to take you or how to do it or what you want to do, let's be honest. That's a little bit more of a feminine trait. And I'm not, hear me, I'm just being honest. Just being honest. When it comes to this type of stuff, you want him to make more decisions. Better decisions, of course. They don't have to be perfect decisions. They just have to be decisions. They just have to be decisions. The little decisions matter. So, being indecisive 1 or 2 times is not a big deal. Being indecisive all the time is a big deal. And you're going to start to see the residue of these flags as they come along, ladies. Hear me with that one. Indecisiveness, big one. Number 8. He has no plan. He has no plan. That's a flag. It does not have to be the perfect plan. It doesn't have to be a plan he's even going to follow. It doesn't have to be a plan he's even going to follow. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. It has to be a plan. You has to show that he's thought about his life. Forget you. Let me just be honest with you. Forget you for the moment. Does he have a plan for the next phase of his life? Doesn't have to be the big thing. Has to say, yeah, the next 2 months is what I'm going to work on. The next 6 months is what I got doing. I'm going to do doom. And it's not your job. I want to say this very clearly. It's not your job to go back and qualify him based on his plan. Your job is to figure out how he sees the next 6, 12 months of his life. What he's working on, where he's putting in his energy, where his passions live. And he will slowly start to disclose what he plans in his head. You do want a planner. It doesn't have to be a perfect plan. It has to be a plan. See, it's not about somebody having a plan and following the plan. That doesn't make a successful person or a success in terms of mating qualities that you want to look for. What you do want to look for is somebody who has a plan and is willing to adjust based on market conditions. And market conditions can be based basically anything. Oh, somebody here, my dog got hit. My grandma passed. Life events happen. Alter plan. I got evicted. These things are what you want him to have. These things are bound to happen in his life. He's bound to get pushback, backlash. Things are bound to happen to him. But can he alter his plan in real time? And that's something for you to pay attention to. Number 9, this is distinctly focused for you, is that he doesn't see you on the weekends. He doesn't want to see you on the weekends. He doesn't ask you out on the weekends. He doesn't even talk to you on the weekends. You have no idea how many women I've talked to where they've said, oh, the guy doesn't even talk to me on the weekends. What do you mean he doesn't talk to you on the weekends? This dude should be talking to you on the weekends. He should be asking you out on the weekends. Not every weekend. Sometimes things can come up. But if he doesn't see you, doesn't want to see you, and doesn't even initiate to you on weekends, doesn't even text you on weekends, you're done. And you need to figure out how to do something about that. Say, listen, I get the sense that this is not what you want. You only want to see me in the weekday at this time, and that's just not something I'm looking for. I'm looking to actually start and vet the person that I can integrate my life in with theirs. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. It shows that he might be dating multiple people, might be dating others, and you're not that big of a priority to be a weekend. That's what that tells me. And last but not least, number 10, I'm going to explain this. He's a lust bunny. If you're dealing with a lust bunny, ladies, it means he has impulse control that he lacks. It means he's looking at things from a different place. It means he's looking at the girls. He's always has his eye on girls. He's always looking at the OFs. He's always following them. He's always liking their stories or liking their post or watching corn, should I say. Now, if you're dealing with that kind of guy, understand he's going to get pulled to this all the time. That could enter lack of commitment. It could enter lack of seeing you in the light that maybe you should be seen in. Potentially, you should be seen in. I don't know you personally. Because he's focused on the next kitty. He's focused on the next kitty. Do you want a guy that's always focused on the next kitty? Because that's bound to happen. You may be bound to run into it, and you're going to start to see little things unfold. See, now, him having any girls on his page is not or following just girls that you don't know. That doesn't mean he's a lust bunny, by the way. That just means he's following girls you don't know. But if he's following a ton of provocative girls, a ton, I mean, and liking their stuff or commenting on their stuff, dare I say it, he may be a lust bunny. He may have some lusty tendencies. Do you want a guy with lusty tendencies? Now, I did these red because these to me, and I've spoken a lot about red flags, and these to me have popped out as very immediate, something that you can see and go to and notice in the first 2 months of seeing somebody. And I hope these helped. Fellas, next one I'm going to do for you too. But I'm also going to do one, ladies, for you with the green flags that you don't also want to ignore, because many of you are really, really fast to spot the red flags. And you're less fast to spot the green ones that you should also be paying attention to. These reds can be game breakers, deal breakers, should I say. They don't all need to be, but if they start to compile one after another, you better start looking at that and calling that, is this even worth pursuing? Much love for you. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.